Hey everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is called Wasp Spirit Totem and the Art of War. Pick your battles wisely. And we have here the Wasp Spirit, sometimes life stings, okay? And the reason I decided to do this reading is because I stumbled across a nest actually of multiple wasps about a month ago, I would say, maybe a couple of weeks ago. And then I also had a friend that was stung by one recently too, and they were within a short amount of time of each other. So I thought, well, let's go ahead and explore this animal totem a little bit more, okay? And we basically have 3 piles to choose from today. And in the description box below will be a link to each pile. And we have 3 piles, so we'll start with the first one, which is Mars. So if you're resonating with the planet Mars, you will choose pile number 1. For pile number 2, we have the Sun. If you'd like pile number 2, then choose the Sun. And or I should say, if you like the Sun, choose pile number 2. And for pile number 3, we have Saturn. So if you're feeling Saturn today, you'll choose pile number 3. That's Mars, Sun, Saturn. And there'll be a link in the description box below. And I'm just gonna go into a couple of things about wasps in general and what they symbolize and some fun facts about them in order to kind of get us into the mood today, into this reading. And if you'd rather not hear that, you can certainly move on to your pile and just find the timestamp in the description box below. But if you'd like to hear a little more info, I'm going to go ahead and give you some info. So wasps are everywhere in the world, but they are not in Antarctica. So that's the only place that they aren't. And I was like, well, no wonder I like Antarctica so much, right? And a wasp can sting you over and over again, unlike the honeybee. If a honeybee stings you, then they die. Whereas a wasp, if they sting you, they can keep going over and over. And wasps make their nest from paper, and the queen is the one that starts the new colony each spring. And in the fall, they all start to die, except for a few of the queens, which hibernate and then come out and start the new colonies. And in the fall, you'll notice that wasps are getting very aggressive and getting into a lot of different things. That's because they are dying off and they have no food and their season is coming to an end. So if you find that they're more aggressive and things like that in the fall, that's why, okay? A colony can produce up to 50,000 wasps from it in one summer. That is a lot. And some words that we would associate with the wasp would be fierce, unafraid, tough, fearless. In a colony, a wasp always has a purpose, a job, and a role. There's queens, males, and workers. And the queens are the ones that, direct everything and give birth to everything and are watching over everything. The males actually are just there to mate with the queen, and they're called drones. They mate with the queen and then they die. And the males have no ability to sting. And there's also the worker wasp as well. And this wasp doesn't mate either, but it can lay eggs, but it only can produce a male wasp, not a female wasp, okay? And it's very interesting because wasps help control pests in crops. They also help, a certain type also helps kill cockroaches, so they do have a purpose, but they can be a major nuisance, particularly because they tend to build their nests around other people's homes, and some people can actually have some pretty bad reactions to a sting, okay? And what happens is when they release their venom contains a pheromone that causes other wasp friends to become aggressive as well and come over and see what's going on. And so that's, when you get stung by one, if there's more in the area, then they will probably try to come after you too, which is tough. And so actually what's interesting too is there is a type of wasp called the fairy fly, And it actually is the smallest insect in the entire world. And fairy flies, or this particular type of wasp, is actually active in agricultural areas. And it was really funny because someone referred to a wasp as a mean fairy the other day, which I thought was really funny. A mean fairy. I came into close contact with one, and it literally looked right at me. It looked me right in the eye, and it had some big eyes too, and it was a red one. So it was pretty interesting. I said, no thank you, turn around and walk away, okay? But a lot of people say that wasp actually came first and is the ancestor of bees. So bees evolving from their fellow wasp, okay? And yeah, so those are some key elements about wasps and what they do and why they get aggressive and why they sting. They usually sting if you disrupt their nest, or you get too close to the nest, or they see you as a threat. So that's very interesting. Now, to talk a little bit more about the symbols of a wasp and what the totem means in general, the totem talks about productivity, progress, and structure, because every wasp in the colony has a particular role and function to carry out, and they actually end up building some pretty intricate nests as well. And so everybody has their role, everybody has their job, and everybody's focused on maintaining the colony. And wasps really start their new beginning with their new queen and all of that in the springtime. So it's also associated with new beginnings, the potential or the realizations of one's potential. The ability to get well organized and focused is also an element here. A wasp is an expert builder as well. So if you have this totem, it likely means you are too. Also, associated with wasp energy is assertive communication and articulation, spelling out and defining of priorities, and humility, and critical thinking. So those are going to be some of the elements associated with it. And we may want to ask ourselves when this totem appears, are we focusing on the right things or not? Okay. And one way to make sure that we stay productive and we stay focused on and organized based on what we should be doing, and is to choose our battles wisely, right? And to make sure that we're not wasting energy, okay? And that's what the title of this reading is actually called, The Art of War and Choosing Your Battles Wisely. For those of you that know, The Art of War is actually a book, and it's really interesting because in feng shui, even, for instance, we can talk about like being like water and flowing through the path of least resistance in life in order to get to the optimal course of action, and to avoid spreading your forces too thin, or to avoid spreading your energies too thin, because it tends to weaken. It tends to weaken you, or as they would say in the art of war, it tends to weaken your armies. Okay, so that's a very interesting point that we're going to follow through in this reading: the productivity, the progress, the structure, the new beginnings, and how to focus our energy and choose our battles wisely. Okay, and with wasp energy, we have the ability to focus on the right things. We have humility. We don't sit around waiting for things to happen, and we apply critical thinking. If wasp spirit is appearing to you, you may be feeling lost with no hope. You may have lost touch with a reality or your reality. You might have been in your own comfort zone for too long. You may be feeling rushed constantly. You may also be impatient about your goals. And also, interestingly, with wasp spirit, it does give you the ability to overpower and overcome your foes, and teaches a person how to smoke out their enemies that are lurking around, and also to protect yourself like a warrior while taking a stand on a particular issue, because we also talked about assertive communication, okay? And A lot of people say that if you find a wasp in your home, then you have a disagreeable guest who is seeking to harm you, or maybe you just had one or you will be having one, so keep an eye out for that. And when we have the wasp spirit show up in relationship issues, it means that we've had a very rough past with broken hearts in the past, and we must move very, very slowly and not rush ourselves into new things, okay? And but if we move too slowly, then it can cause an issue where people are kind of afraid of intimacy as well too. And those that really identify with the wasp energy tend to create a discomfort in others at times because of the way that they are, which is very assertive and focused, productive, and you know, the ability to kind of like the power to overcome your foes. Okay, so we're going to talk about all these issues and how not to spread your energy around too much. For those of you that have had any encounters with a wasp, or you've ever been stung by one, if you want to drop a comment below and let me know what was happening in your life then and how it relates to this, or just what experiences you had with these creatures in general. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the readings now for everybody. And luckily when I found that wasp nest and I disturbed it, I didn't get stung, but I mean, it wasn't good. I'll put it that way. It wasn't good. So let's go ahead and get into the reading today. I'm gonna ring the bell. Okay. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the planet Mars, and today's reading is called The Wasp Spirit Totem and the Art of War, Picking Your Battles Wisely. And if you want to know what does that have to do with anything, why does a wasp have anything to do with that, then you can listen to my intro, because I go into a lot of facts and also a lot of symbolism of what the wasp means. Okay, pile number 1. So I'm going to go ahead and start your reading today. And okay, so Spirit already just told me chili powder, and or somebody's spices like spilling all over the place, or somebody's like having a leak in someone's cabinet, or getting stuff all over inside your cabinets. Okay, they're showing me that. They're also showing me chili powder. Okay, maybe some of you like to cook different things with that, or you like things really spicy. Okay, of course with the planet Mars we do like things spicy. Let's see if Spirit will give me anything else. Okay, I do feel like someone's like cleaning something, or cleaning behind something, or cleaning deeply in a cabinet or something, and encounters something like sticky or weird or crusty, and it's like, what's that? Okay, so if you've had that happen recently, or you noticed something in your house or your apartment and you're like, what is that? Okay, so Spirit's giving me that, those weird little things that we notice sometimes. Okay, and let's go ahead and see any other messages here for pile number 1 before we start. Okay, I just heard 4, 5, 6, and then I saw the color blue. Okay, pile number 1. So 4, 5, 6 could be in someone's phone number. It could be someone's apartment unit, like 45 or 56, but 4, 5, 6. Okay, or it could just be a reference to counting. All right, and here we have the 6 of Swords on the bottom of the deck here, and looking like someone finally got their head on straight about something and learned their lesson, but maybe feeling a little bit stuck with what it is that they're doing, and wondering like, will it make any difference? Okay, and like, will what I'm doing actually make any difference in my life? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into your reading, pile number 1, and see what the Wasp Spirit has to share with you. We have virtual fog. Okay, so too much computer time, or too much feeling like lost, or feeling in a fog. And I mentioned that in the opening messages. I had some references written down about the Wasp Spirit talking about feeling lost with no hope, or feeling like one has lost touch with reality or within your own reality, okay? So somebody here in pile number one feeling like they're really in a fog. Pile number one, has that been true for you lately? Because the wasp energy, it will wake you up. And wasp spirit is, wasps are generally awake during the daytime, and they're busy bees, or wasps as they were. And so if you feel like you've been just in a fog and you haven't known what's going on and you've been super concerned, or you just haven't been feeling the best, okay, or have just been feeling low energy, pile number one, let's find out what's going on. We have detach, okay, with the Justice card, and detach. Okay, it's like, I don't know what's going on here, okay? I feel like you guys are saying, I don't know what's going on in this situation, or I don't know what's going on with me or this situation, but I guess I'm just gonna have to detach and let go, because there's nothing left for me here, or there's nothing, you know, there's nothing here that feels like warm or comforting, or feels, I feel like some of you have been in a period of, you know, just being kind of listless, or where things have, you know, as they say, I think Shakespeare would say it, at the winter of your discontent, okay? So some of you not feeling the best about what's been going on and seeking some clarity here, and understanding that you just have to like detach from something at this point, okay? We have the Two of Swords and refusing to see. And that's interesting because both of these people have their head down, okay? One looks like they've been thinking too much, or, you know, just in a virtual fog, like not an actual fog, but in a fog in the mind, you know what I mean? A mind fog. And the Two of Swords can definitely show where, you know, not much is happening. We're just kind of lost in thought, okay? And I feel like a question you guys are asking is, why is this person refusing to see the truth, okay? There could be somebody in your life right now and you're like, why is this person refusing to see something here? Like, what's the point? What's the deal, okay? And maybe for you have needed to detach and needed to see what was going on, but you didn't really want to upset the apple cart, pile number one. We have the Lovers and we have love. So this could definitely be a situation where this is about a love relationship or a partnership that you have been involved in, where things were really good at one point, things where the energies were growing and entwined and you were seeing eye to eye, and it was really fun and it felt, you know, uplifting, okay? And you could see growth. And it's like with this virtual fog, I don't know what happened. I'm not sure what happened here. I don't know. Like, how did I lose my love for this? Or how did I lose my, you know, how did I lose my person? Or how did something that was so, you know, beneficial and so optimistic and I felt so connected, how did this happen that now I'm just kind of like stumbling around in the dark, okay? And I feel like some of you are like, well, I can't really live like this anymore. I need to come out of the cold. I can't really, like, you know, this person, I just have to release this person, because if I don't, you know, I'm just hurting myself or giving myself headaches and pains at this point, okay? I feel like you guys are saying, I'm sick of not knowing something. I'm sick of not knowing what's going on here. I'm sick of not seeing it. I'm just gonna let go, okay? And just try to be happy with that, with the letting go. But I think some of you are really missing, it could be a friendship, it could be a lover, it could be the idea of this person in your life that you really were holding on to, okay? Like how it used to be. We have death. Yeah, I was just gonna say this Justice card from this deck here looks like death. I mean, it looks like instead of justice, it should be like the death card, okay? And you know, some of you could have been dealing with some brain fog as well, getting over some type of illness that could have been a little bit scary, or wondering what's going on with yourself physically, okay? But I also just feel like you guys are saying, I can't continue to like put this on my shoulders. I can't continue to like think about this like this anymore. I can't continue to put myself through this, you know, mental torture. It's basically killing me, okay? And I feel like this person that you've been trying to talk to, or you've been trying to get to open up, is just not responsive, you know, and they don't, you know, they look a little bit of ashamed of themselves, pile number one. They also look a little bit avoidant to me as well, okay? And I think, you know, you guys are just realizing, like, I can't make this person love me, or I can't make this situation, like, it's causing me more harm to like stay in this, you know, foggy, soggy scenario than to really just, you know, cut something off with justice, okay? And we have energy here. So I think when you guys start to detach from this situation, you know, they always say, like with a butterfly, and you can see here she's opened up her hands and she's releasing this bird. And, you know, if they say you love something, set it free. If it returns to you, then it was meant to be, okay? But I just feel like you guys don't have the energy anymore to care about a situation. Like, you know, you two formerly were on this really good page with one another, and I feel like this person refuses to like acknowledge or see those memories, okay? And I think the wasp energy, you know, the whole thing with the wasp spirit here, sometimes life stings, right? Sometimes it really does. Sometimes we have to realize, like, you know, either I'm going to stumble around in the dark, or I'm just going to have to let go of this and get some of my own energy back. And I think what the message here is, after you do kind of disconnect and detach, there will be more energy coming back to you, I feel like, okay? And after you release something, it's like more can come in for you, pile number one, okay? And I know you're not real happy about it, and I know that it's not like the ideal situation, but I think, you know, we can't make other people see what we want them to see sometimes, okay? Like sometimes they can't even see the light above them. They can't see the people around them. They're just kind of trapped in their own inner world, okay? So, you know, and I feel some of you here are very sensitive too. When the people around you are very unhappy and trapped in their inner world, like it does have an effect on you, pile number one, okay? And let's see what else we have here. I assess matters carefully and discern wisely. Yeah, one of the things the wasp is associated with is critical thinking, okay? And if you guys have just been, you know, the wasp spirit is here to release this brain fog that you've been having, or this mental conundrum that you've been going through. And of course, justice very much can assess matters carefully and discern wisely. And some people just don't want to see what's around them. They'd rather just cut themselves off. But I don't feel like that's you, pile number one. I feel like you're gradually building the energy to discern and weigh things out and balance things out, okay? There's a lot of air sign energy here. We have 2 Libra cards with Justice and the 2 of Swords. We also have Gemini with the Lovers. So there's a lot of mental energy here, okay? And it is time to like think about something from more critically or from a more logical perspective. And I mean, sometimes it's the last thing we want to do, but in order to bring ourselves into harmony with the Lovers, that's kind of what we have to do, you know? We have the Queen of Cups here. Yeah, so, you know, you guys, I mean, putting a lot of love and devotion and care and kindness into the things that you love, okay? And sometimes it may be a battle between the head and the heart, because we have love and the Queen of Cups here, and then we have this person refusing to see the love that you have for them, or just blocking it out, okay? And I don't think this person is very happy either, but you can't be the one to feed them their daily dose of happiness. You know, they got to go and get that for themselves. And with the Queen of Cups and the need to assess matters carefully and wisely, like I said, it's a tug of war or a push and pull between head and heart, okay? And this whole reading is called The Art of War. Choose your battles wisely, right? So if we're continuing to, you know, battle it out because we want someone to see the effect they're having on us and how much we've cared for them and show that as evidence, then, you know, when that person is refusing to see, then that would be a situation where we would want to detach and choose our battles wisely and probably let go until that person can come out of their own, you know, their own fog. And who knows when that will happen, because I feel like this person is avoiding assessing matters carefully and wisely themselves, okay? I feel like they're avoiding doing that. And we have card 35 here. Somebody could be in their 30s or around 35. All right. We also have a 2 here, so we could have 32 or 36. All right. We have card number 9. I am compassionate. Yeah, you are very compassionate. I feel like you guys don't want to see people hurt, and you'll give them, you know, the shirt off your back. You'll give them everything, you know. You'll go down to the dark well with them to help them raise up and to help others release them from their suffering. I feel like pile number 1, like your intentions are very pure, okay? But sometimes that can bring us into a lot of, like, you know, wasted energy when we're doing all the caring and the other person is just refusing to acknowledge something, you know. And it says here, it's your compassion that makes you shine. You're devoted to helping the greater good and have a strong talent. Yeah, with the wasp energy, there's definitely a queen, you know, just like there is with the honeybees, there's a queen. And here's the queen right here. And she's the one that causes everything to grow and everything to die. And she's the one that has, you know, she's the one that puts the effort and energy in to kind of keep things going. All right, the queen. What's the song? I think it's actually from that movie Fight Club, where they say that, like, the queen is the slave, you know, everyone else can rest, everyone else can kind of, like, you know, like walk away or take a break, but not the queen. You know, the queen is the slave. And, you know, talking about being a slave to one's emotions with the Queen of Cups versus justice, like really needing to dial into the specificity, right, of why you're feeling the way you're feeling, okay? It's your compassion that makes you shine, pile number 1. You're devoted to helping the greater good and have a strong talent for speaking up for others. Yes, you do, okay? And I think more than anything, you'd love to speak up for yourself or for this person, but, you know, they really won't let you, okay? Your soul is most satisfied when you are of being of service to others. And yeah, with this Lovers card, because the Lovers isn't just about a romantic connection, but it can also just be your personality. Like, you genuinely want to see others smile. You want to see others grow. You want to, you know, you want other people to, you want to feel those good energies and those good vibes and raise other people up and show them that they're not the only one and that others care and that together we can be better, you know. And that's a beautiful thing, pile number 1. It's very beautiful. You know, but I think sometimes if it's not being appreciated or if it's just like a lost cause, then sometimes we have to let things go. And I am drawn to the blue dress that she is wearing here, okay? And Yeah, because I was mentioning blue in your channeled messages, and look at all the blue on the Two of Swords, and then the blue on this card, the virtual fog. Okay, with the blues and the greens, the throat chakra and the heart chakra. I want to say something to this person, but I can't. I'm not sure what to say or what to do, okay? To kind of get things back on the page that they were on before, all right? And it's great to be compassionate, but you know, like the Buddhists say, like, we don't do like stupid compassion or dumb compassion, you know, without discerning and seeing how, you know, we have to look at, actually, it's really funny. I think I've said this before, but in Buddhism, like the compassion is rather more of a detachment, and it's more of a cold compassion. It's not necessarily like, you know, a smothery, lovey-dovey, here's everything, you can have everything type of thing, okay? And, you know, this Queen of Cups feeling like out to sea with her emotions and needing to kind of get back onto land, get back to that, you know, grounding herself in her reality, okay? So we have that. You guys are probably like, yeah, I know, my compassion will be the death of me, you know? But I think you guys are learning a lot here with this Justice card and the energy that you get when you detach and just let things be what they are organically, okay? We have here Peaks of Joy. Oh boy, that's nice. Pile number 1. And this little girl's looking at the butterfly, and they're looking straight on at each other. You know, a butterfly is much nicer than a wasp. I'll tell you what, I'd rather be looking eye to eye with a butterfly any day rather than a wasp. And, you know, and I think it looks like, you know, it's kind of like the Fool card, like she's leaping off the mountain here and looking at the butterfly. She's looking at change. She's looking at how she is transforming. She's looking at how she is changing, and she's excited to see the growth that awaits her. No more same, no more la-ti-da, okay? No more, you know, what is that saying? Something about a fool's Shangri-La, okay? I'm gonna have to look that up because Spirit just gave it to me. But I do think, you know, like when you detach and when you let go, some of your energy, your fire, your strength, your power, your Mars, go get 'em kind of, you know, you guys have the Mars card here, your go get 'em is gonna come back to you, okay? And I do think, you know, you do get a lot of joy from being compassionate to others and being of service, but I also feel there is something changing within you. I feel like it's, you know, that creative inner child that is coming out, pile number 1, okay? So I like that a lot for you guys. Oh, we have Netzach, which is a Sephirot or Sephirah in the Tree of Life. And Netzach is associated with Venus and our desires and our feelings. And the way my teacher, I love the way my teacher explains the Tree of Life, because he's, you know, he's so funny. He'll be like, you know, Netzach is like looking at something with your eyes closed and reaching for it and saying, I want cake, you know, me want knife, me want, you know, it's like the part of our brains, the feeling sensation part of our, and not just our brains, but our bodies. It's like the feeling guttural sensation, body sensations where it's like me wanty, you know, me needy, me wanty. And there's not, you know, it's good for passion and lovemaking and art and all of that and beauty, but it's a little less logical. It can definitely be illogical, and a place where we're just like driven by our raw instincts to possess or to have things or to want things. Me wanty pizza, me wanty cake, me wanty person, right? And right? And yeah, so, you know, you guys could be trying to help someone like see how their own like refusal to look at something logically or look at something in a more balanced way is actually hurting them or harming them, or their inability to look at a situation with you in a more balanced, mature way is actually hurting them, okay? But it's also, I feel like, about your desires and what you really want to do, right? And do you want, like, you know, Netzach is good though in the sense of like, I want to color, I want to draw, I feel like taking a walk, I feel like, you know, marching to the beat of my own drum, whatever it is, you know. And I think during those moments, you guys experience true feelings of joy and desire instead of like obsession, you know, which is more of the dark side of the Queen of Cups, where she gets really kind of obsessed about an outcome and like, you know, just focusing on the object of her desire, okay? We have Jupiter returns and benefits. Okay, so some really good things coming your guys' way, like being rewarded karmically for all the beautiful, you know, all the beautiful things and all the compassionate things that you've done for others. It's about time, pile number one, for you to have some, you know, good things coming your way, whether it's that piece of cake, whether it's taking a walk. You know, it would be nice if something was easy. You know what I mean? It's like, why does everything have to be so hard? Why can't it just come naturally? Why can't it just be like piece of cake? You know, that's something that we say when like something is just like, yeah, that was real easy. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Okay. And, you know, I also think, you know, once you guys let go of something, it's actually easier than you thought it was going to be, you know. And some of you might be feeling guilty with this whole I am compassionate in death, like taking away your compassion or taking away, you know, taking something away from a situation may make you feel guilty or make you feel odd or just make you feel off or whatever about something. But I feel like in doing that, you really feel you free yourself up to explore and to try new things, okay? And to do what your little heart desires, pile number one, instead of waiting, you know, to see what someone else is gonna do. Do you know what I'm saying, pile number one? And yeah, and I do think for those of you that are pursuing, you know, things that you really love or desire, you know, things that you really love and things that you really enjoy, I do think you're gonna see some benefits out of that, okay? So that's interesting. Jupiter returns and benefits. Maybe some of you do have Jupiter in Pisces or Aries. Jupiter has been going through those two signs and bouncing back and forth between them this year. It's 420 right now, pile number one. So, you know, spark it if you got it. And we have brilliance here. Wow, pile number one, brilliance. Okay. And, you know, I think also too with this Netzach here, it's about sometimes foregoing the things that, you know, the things that we just are blindly wanting in order to get more energy back or in order to like reap the benefits of the productivity of having our attention focused elsewhere. Okay, and I do think that's a Wasp Spirit type of a thing, because I would say the Wasp Spirit is not very aligned with Netzach, because the Wasp Spirit is all about their role and their job and their productivity and what they should be doing, and in a positive way, you know? So anyway, interesting. Pile number one. Let's go ahead and get into, it's like if we can set aside and be a little bit uncomfortable today and kind of go through those feelings and work through it, we can have a much better tomorrow. So let's go ahead. It's also about, you know, putting off sometimes enjoyment and satisfaction so that we can, you know, come back even stronger is what I'm saying. Pile number one. All right. And I'm going to read to you a little bit about this brilliance card here from the Sacred Earth Oracle, and we're going to see what comes up here. So this brilliance card can indicate an underlying fear of success, okay? New ideas threaten old ways, okay? So feeling like you're in a brain fog, needing to detach from something, refusing to see something, new ideas are threatening old ways. Positive change, yep, with the butterfly here, positive change respects the past and the future. Put your thinking cap on and brainstorm. Step outside of conformity and well-meaning advice. Creative energy is generated through conversation and play. Peaks of joy, energy, all right? Having fun. Creative energy is generated through conversation and play. Be prepared for loud applause. Wow, Jupiter returns. Be prepared for loud applause, okay? And the accompanying criticism. Okay, so we always, no matter how hard we do or how good we do or how hard we work on things, there's always going to be those people that refuse to see what's going on, okay? Experimentation recharges an interest. A sudden realization brings a dramatic change. Yeah, this detachment for you guys brings a dramatic change. This death card, okay? Getting out of the brain fog, getting out of the mind fog brings a dramatic change and restores the brilliance and the flow in the mental body, okay? Spiritual meaning. An inspirational thought flows into your heart and something new is born. Wow. Pile number 1, an inspirational thought flows into your heart and something new is born. You are focused. Yeah, that's the Wasp Spirit. You're focused and inspired and intuitively guided towards success. Much is accomplished with seemingly little effort. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Piece of cake, right? Much is accomplished simply through little effort because the force of love and purpose is on your side. The force of love, the Queen of Cups and Jupiter returns. The force of love and purpose is on your side. Your work and energy shall touch the hearts of many. Pile number 1. Embrace your mental brilliance as part of your light. Aww. Insight. Lightning repeatedly striking the vapor and gases present on the surface of a young earth produce amino acids, the building blocks of protein and the fundamentals of life. Lightning literally provided the spark of all life on earth, but many were afraid of it, right? Refusing to see. There's the light above his head. Refusing to see, not wanting to look at that lightning, okay? Lightning literally provided the spark of all life on earth, but many were afraid of it, and for good reason. Good reason too. Lightning is many times hotter than the surface of the sun. Wow. Despite this, people and animals can be struck by lightning and survive. When the lightning strikes, the surrounding air heats and expands so quickly that creates great claps of thunder. Most lightning occurs within the clouds, but when it does go to ground, it can strike in the same place twice. Yeah, which is like a wasp can sting more than one time, can actually strike, multiple times. Okay, and can strike the same place twice, and often strikes the same place many times over. Ideas can feel dangerous. Not everything we think up is destined for this time and place. Just like lightning, most ideas will never ground, but when they strike the right mix of elements, they can be world-changing. Once one idea strikes, it increases the chance that many more will follow. Generate your brilliance. Pile number 1. Generate your brilliance, okay? My loves, that is what I am getting for you, pile number 1. I hope that reading was insightful for you. I hope that you got something from it. And as always, I'd love to hear your comments and your thoughts. And thank you so much for your continued patronage, however you say that. Thank you so much, pile number 1, and take care. Let's move on to pile number 2. Okay. Let's do it. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. You chose the Sun, and today's reading is called The Wasp Spirit Totem and the Art of War, Picking Your Battles Wisely. Pile number 2, okay? So we are going to go ahead and get into it today, and I have the Sacred Earth Oracle. We'll be reading a little bit from that. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and open the energy up for pile number 2. Spirit, can you show me how the Wasp Spirit is helping pile number 2 to change and to refocus and be productive and choose their battles wisely? Okay, I just got like the shivers, or I just got the sensation of somebody being cold, or someone's air conditioning being up too high, or something like that, okay? Or maybe someone's at work and the air conditioning is up really high. I just heard it's like they're gonna freeze us out of here or something like that, okay? So it's like freezing in here, they're gonna freeze us out of here. Let's see what else. Okay, Spirit also told me hiring freeze, okay? So some of you maybe could be worried that you're noticing a slowdown or a hiring freeze, or you're wondering what's going on, okay? Or maybe you're looking for work, but Spirit is showing me that. Also, I just heard tabbouleh, which I think, isn't that like a Greek type of a topping or salad, okay? It's like a topping, I think, that you put on like pita, okay? Or pita chips or pita breads, okay? Pile number 2. Now I'm wanting some Greek food. And let's see what else here. What else? Anything else here for pile number 2? Okay, I just heard Swan Lake. So maybe some of you were recently at a lake, or you've been seeing a lot of swans. Also, there is a famous ballet show called Swan Lake, okay? Interesting. Did you guys ever see that movie Black Swan from back in the day with Natalie Portman? That was interesting. But anyway, pile number 2. We have the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, and I'm seeing somebody who has a thick gold ring on their index finger, okay? Or somebody who has a lot of hair ties, like, 5 or 6 or 7 of them around their wrist. Why do you need so many, pile number 2? Do you got a ton of hair or what? Or somebody who wears a lot of like bracelets, like cloth ones or black ones, all right? Interesting, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, Spirit's drawing my attention to like somebody's armpit, or like, when somebody gets really sweaty and they put like a paper towel underneath there and like kind of like blot it. But anyway, pile number 2, interesting. The Knight of Pentacles is very much in line with that wasp type of energy, okay? And look, there's the King of Cups too, and the Page of Swords. All right, so some decisions and some thoughts here coming up, but the King of Cups in the tarot is Pisces, and the Knight of Pentacles is Taurus. So we could have those energies in this pile, but that Wasp Spirit is like, very much a productive, logical, structured type, disciplined type of energy, like the King or like the Knight of Pentacles represents. The King of Cups is exactly kind of like opposite to that, which is more like emotional and creative and playful, and like just more like willing to see things in different shades of gray, instead of just things are one way, okay? And I am feeling somebody here who had 2 parents that were very different, or had very different personalities. Or there could be 2 people in your life right now, pile number 2, one who's like very logical and driven and directive, and the other one who's like more creative and more turned on by things like art and use of color and emotion, and somebody who is more like free-flowing rather than definitive, okay? And some of you may be needing to choose between between 2 ideas, or some of you may have been a child of 2 parents who are both very different from each other, but then you were also very different from both of them, So, you know, it's like a family of different people, okay? And I also feel like somebody getting pushback on their ideas, okay? Here with this Page of Swords and Nine of Wands, like somebody is getting pushback on their thoughts or ideas, okay? So, you know, it's like important, right, to listen to everyone and to kind of assess the situation, but not to make other people feel like their contributions aren't valid, right? I think you guys already know that. Maybe there's some of that going on at your work, or, you know, I was talking about family situations too, but let's go ahead and jump into it, pile number 2, and see what wisdom does the Wasp Totem have for pile number 2. We have soul travel. Okay, now breathing life into new ventures. And maybe some of you are feeling like, I'm also getting some of you are very hardworking and logical and that, you know, strong and productive and all of that. But I feel like lately you've been wanting to go in another direction or branch out. And lately you've been wanting to be more creative. And lately you've been wanting to be less sticking to a timetable and more like freedom to kind of explore, you know? And so some of you here could literally be wanting to travel in general or wanting to try something new and just really wanting to branch out from the things that you have been doing, which are fine, but it's also boring is what I feel, okay? So maybe some of you have been a little bit bored lately, or you've just been restless with this soul travel, okay? We have here dreams coming true and the 9 of Cups. Oh yeah, pile number 2, I like it. Ooh, the sacral chakra. We need some creativity up in this bitch, don't we? Pile number 2, the throat. Oh my, all right. The ability to say what you want and need, and the ability to like speak up and say what's important to you, okay? And I was seeing this energy on the bottom of the deck of somebody getting pushback, or you guys trying to say what it is that you want with this Page of Swords and getting pretty upset because you keep getting pushback on something, or you think you're about ready to do something and then you have 100 different reasons of why you can't, and it's getting really frustrating, okay? And there's the Queen of Cups and the 9 of Wands standing in between, like what you want, I feel like, okay? And so that's very interesting because we have the Queen here and then we have the King there. So, ooh, and then we have the 3 of Swords right underneath that Queen of Cups. So it's been hard to ask for what you want or to be the person that you want, I feel, pile number 2, because it seems like people are always squashing your dreams, or they're always telling you something can't be done, or there's always some, you know, pushback on something. And I feel like, you know, it's like at times you've gotten your hopes up or you put your heart into things, and then it's like, no, you can't do that, okay? And also with this 2 of Wands here, it feels like something is really quite big and intimidating, like you're stepping into a new world on your own, okay? So this is very interesting energy. Some of you here could be around age 26 or 25, because we have 22-5 here and 26, and you're wanting to be independent and make your own decisions. But some of you are feeling like under the microscope or under the watchful eye of somebody who won't let you breathe and won't let you be free, okay? And whether it's a work situation, whether it's a family situation, but you know, this sense that people are like, you know, watching you, or people are enjoying something, or they're enjoying watching you like have to struggle, okay? And I'm sorry, pile number 2, if some of you have dealt with people like that who just would rather like selfishly keep you for themselves rather than like let you be free, to kind of like be yourself and grow and change, okay? There's a whole big life out there to see and to live. And, you know, if someone's trying to be like controlling and telling you that you can't do things, then that's messed up, okay? And I do feel like it's time for a change in a direction here. And ultimately, like, you know, when you assert your independence and stake your claim and you say what you want, then all your dreams start coming true, okay? And one of the things the Wasp energy was bringing through that I talked about in the beginning of the reading before I started was assertive communication, or being with the throat chakra here, being able to say what it is that you want and you need and affirm that in the positive, okay? And so I do think that there is something, like some of you could have been feeling like trapped or just not able to express yourselves the way that you want to, okay? And I think you guys are about ready to shift directions and do something and try something different here. And I feel like your dreams are so close and they're right there for you to like reach out and touch, and for you to reach out and grab. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Pile number 2, we have passion. Yes, like, you know, I want to do this. I want to try this. I want to go here, you know, and I feel like as far as like organizing yourself and focusing and getting your money in order, I feel like a lot of you have been working on that and doing that, okay? And I also feel like some of you are wanting to be like defying the people that told you that you could never do it, you know? And I feel like you're about ready to leapfrog over these types of energies. We have hunger. Yes, okay. You guys really having a hunger to make your dreams come true, a hunger and a passion to get the time that you need to do what it is that you want. All right. And I feel like you guys are breaking free and you're breaking away from a couple of people, because there's a lot of court cards here. All right. There's the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Page of Swords, the Queen of Cups. You guys are like, you know, needing to get yourself in order so that you can break free from someone else's influence, is what I feel, or from the influence of a job or whatever. And I feel like with that Wasp energy, it's that ability to be like dedicated every day to your goals, towards taking the steps that you need to take. All right. And so that you can finally like be set free. All right. And a hunger and a passion. Some of you may have a hunger and a passion for travel, a hunger and a passion to feel like instead of like people limiting you or bearing down on you, like you get to make your own decisions and you get to like have the world in your hands and decide what you want to do. Okay. And having the ability with the sacral chakra and the throat chakra to say, this is what I desire, this is what I want, this is what I'm doing, to say it like very definitively, okay? I let go of the anxieties of others, the micro moon. Wow. The micromanagers, the micro moons, the micro parents, the micro satellites orbiting around you, pile number 2, that say that something can't be done, or say that something isn't, you know, that tell you, oh, you know, you need me here. You're a big fish in a small pond right now, but if you go elsewhere, you're gonna find there's a big world out there and it's not kind, you know, or this type of thing. Maybe some of you growing up had somebody like this who was like trying to control your world, or trying to keep you like, you know, locked in, okay? And some of you could have had like a very controlling parent, a very controlling boss, okay? Or some of you could have been with a lover that was very financially controlling, or somebody that, you know, made you feel small because they wanted to control you, okay? And I feel like, you know, with this Knight of Pentacles pile number 2, you guys are like so determined and you're so strong, and you guys just have this like, I'll show you, you know, like I'll show you. And you know, I don't care if I have to work every day of my life to make it happen. I am not going to, like, I'm going to do what I want to do. Okay. And I love that willful, you know, people that don't believe in you or tell you, you know, they've got anxieties or they're pushing back on the things or the ideas or the ways that you're wanting to run your life or live your life. Okay. And you guys are just letting go of the anxieties of other people who tell you certain things or try to tell you this is the way the world is, etc., etc. It's like, no, you know. And with the sun card here, or the sun magnet, you guys chose the sun pile. This is like, I want to be myself. I want to do me. I want to be an individual. I want to do and go and say and make up my life as I go, okay? And some other people, they may not get it or understand it. It's like, well, you're perfectly fine here, or you're perfectly comfortable here, or, you know, I'll take care of you here, or whatever. And it's like, no, okay? So, you know, no matter how many people tried to tell you in your life, pile number 2, that you couldn't do something or it wasn't possible, or they tried to rain on your parade, or shut you down, I feel like you just have such a passion within you that you're not going to let it go. You're going to keep working at it, okay? Yeah, talking about working at something with the 3 of Pentacles here. This is very much like a wasp energy type of a card. And, you know, as far as, because this is all about building that foundation, and you know, wasps in a colony, they do that. Each worker bee, you know, the queen bee, the males, and the worker bees all have their particular roles. They all work in unison. They all work hard to make something happen, okay? And it's like with the 3 of Pentacles and the 5, and the, I was going to say the 5 of Swords, but the 5 of Swords isn't in this pile. But anyway, with the 3 of Pentacles and the throat chakra here, it's like, I'm going to say how I think this should, I'm a team player, and I, you know, want the best for everyone here, but I have some things that I need to express about where I'm at with things, okay? So that's going on here. Now, as far as choosing your battles, pile number 2, I also think there's opportunities that you need to speak up about or take, or there is going to be opportunities for you to speak up and step out and take things and get noticed, okay? And the battle that I feel you guys need to kind of let go of at this time, because the reading is called The Art of War, Pick Your Battles, okay? I see you, I think in the past, a lot of you may have been like trying to prove yourself to people, or trying to, you know, and whether that started in childhood with a parent who told you this is the way the world is, blah, 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 or whether you're still dealing with a parent like that, or if you had that when you were younger, or if you had a, you know, shitty boyfriend or girlfriend that made you feel that way, tried to hamper your independence and control you, okay? I mean, I feel like a lot of you have been wanting to fight back against that and push back against people who have been treating you that way, okay? And with this Queen of Cups and 3 of Swords, I think it's been very painful, okay? And I think it's time to step out into the great big world, okay? With the 2 of Wands, no matter where, you know, how old you are, if you're 50, 60, doesn't matter, right? We can get really hung up on proving a point, even if it is breaking us down or hurting us, okay? And I feel like because it reminds us of something from childhood, because it triggers us, and that's okay that it does. But I just think that I mean, it's not okay, people who treat other people that way, but it's okay that you feel that way, you know? But I think what the Wasp Spirit energy is coming through here to say, pile number 2, is there's this whole unexplored territory that you would be like so passionate about and so hungry to carpe diem, seize the day on, that would get you like really, really excited. You would forget about anybody else's anxieties towards you or anybody else's shit attitudes, and you would just get down to business and just start doing, walking the talk and doing what it is that you want to do. Okay. And I think that phase is, is upon you. Okay. And it's scary, right? Because the interesting thing, and I mentioned with Wasp Spirit too, is analyzing where we've gotten a little bit too comfortable. Like sometimes we get very comfortable in a particular pattern or trying to overcome someone else's opinion of us or fighting with the same type of people or whatever, and instead of just giving, it's better maybe, because that's a comfort zone too, having to prove ourselves constantly and having to get out under the boot of someone else. Like that's, if it's pile number 2, we got to be careful in this area, right? Because it can turn into a comfort zone where we just want to keep fighting, because it's unjust and it's wrong and it's messed up. Okay. And I get that. But at the same time, I think there's something like really exciting moving in this direction for you. Okay. And it's a different direction. It's a complete 180 from where your attention has been, and it's moving your attention into a different direction where some of you may be teaching or leading, expressing your thoughts and opinions on the way things should be done, and putting plans into place with the throat chakra and 3 of Pentacles, things that you always wanted to do, okay? And we have here number 11, I am intuitive. Okay, I love you for that, pile number 2, I do. And I feel like some of you can tell when people don't believe in you, or you can tell when people are being dicks, or you can tell, and some of you may have been able to tell that since you were a child, and you've been fighting since you were a child and pushing back on people who've been hurting you ever since then, okay? Some of you here with this Queen of Cups and 3 of Swords could have had a mother that was constantly telling you that you couldn't do it, or constantly poo-pooing everything that you wanted, or just not listening to you, breaking your heart over and over. And some of you could have ended up with partners that were like that too, very controlling and possessive, all right? And yeah, so I think you guys are very intuitive, pile number 2, and I think you got a real good read on situations, okay? And maybe that's why, when people are shit. And I think you've come to understand that after some time, okay? And it might be hard to let things go, pile number 2, but at the same time, I think you can sense there's a whole other thing happening here, okay? A passionate hunger that you've been waiting to, seize, okay? You have a keen awareness of what is happening around you, pile number 2. A strong intuition is your gift, and it will help you to understand the unspoken feelings and thoughts of others, even if they're shitty, pile number 2, even if they're mean and controlling. If they think they're doing you some type of favor, or they think that they're whatever, they're not. And I think you get it, okay? And you understand the unspoken feelings and the energy and the energetic exchange. You get it, okay? I know you do. This insight allows you to be a great guide and supporter. Yeah, and I mentioned teacher, throat chakra, 3 of Pentacles, having a process for how things are going to go and how things are going to unfold, and being able to talk other people through it and to help others feel supported. And I think you guys can definitely do that, pile number 2. Let's just get our feet out of the quicksand with these BS people who continue, let's get away from it, because we already know what that energy is about. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, hate it, no thanks, okay? And, I'm getting real mad at these people for you, pile number 2. All right. And as you guys know, energy, like, it really can't be forgotten. It always goes somewhere. And we have card number 9 here in storm fields. Okay. So, sometimes it can feel like, the whole world is under the, direct attack of a huge tornado, and we're just some tiny little vessel trying to navigate our little boat through it all, okay? And, but there's also this powerful thing of taking all the stormy weather, taking all the inner storms within, taking all of that power and all of that, inner fortitude and pushing towards something better, okay? And it looks like a tornado here is about ready to hit this house and destroy it, okay? And some of you may feel like if you walk away from something, it will destroy something, or it will create a lot of stormy fields. And you know what's so interesting? I see 3 flowers here, and then I see what looks like, it could be a honeybee, but I'm interpreting it as a yellow jacket, okay? Or a big ass wasp, okay? And, a whole house could be getting devoured by a tornado, but the wasps are still, hanging out on the flowers with the honeybees. And actually the honeybees and the wasps sometimes are, together. Like, you wouldn't think that. You would think that the wasps are destroying all the honeybees. Sometimes they do when they're running out of food, but what I see here is just a hornet or a wasp or something chilling on these 3 flowers while this house is getting devoured, okay? And, not really doing anything about it, okay? And that may be like you guys needing to leave something behind and look the other direction and feeling that sting when it finally lets go, and just keep on keeping on. You know what I'm saying? Because, whatever, nature survives. I was listening to something today where somebody was talking about how ground yourself with the thought that no matter what's happening in our world or in our life, that the bees are still going to make their honey. The wasps are still going to fly around and look for their food. The trees are still going to keep growing and shedding their leaves. And, they don't care. All these animals and all these things, they don't care about what's happening. They're going to continue on. Now, some could say the bees are being destroyed because of, because of climate change, all of that, okay? There is a whole storm happening on Mother Earth, and I'm sure a lot of you are already aware of that, but there's a lot of things that just keep on keeping on, and I feel like you guys can navigate your way through a storm field, and if anything is really crazy or wild, I feel like your guys' intuition will help you guide through that, okay? We have Hokmah here, which is one of the Sephira and the tree of life. And the way my teacher describes Hokmah is the ever ejaculating penis that is just, pushing everything all over everything. And it's just that fire of creation where things are multiplying and multiplying and multiplying, and that outrushing of power and outrushing of power. And there's no limitation, right? Nothing's been contained yet. Nothing's been held into one place, okay? And to have that freedom of just being able to make your choices and do what you want and experience that outrushing and outpouring of energy, okay? And some of you may actually gain energy when storms are going on, when there's lightning or thunder or things like that, or when there's actual wild times in humanity. Some of you may actually take that energy and harness it and turn it into something else, is what I'm seeing here. We have Grand Cross and Provoker. Wow. Well, the wasp energy will definitely provoke someone. If you're standing there and you're just enjoying a sip of your lemonade and 10 wasps start heading over towards you, they're going to provoke you to get up from your chair and run in a different direction, And sometimes these situations, they provoke us, they irritate us, and to they provoke and irritate us enough to the point where we're ready to leave or we're ready to move on, okay? And, people always say don't poke the sleeping bear type of thing, okay? And there is some of that going on here, pile number 2, okay? Sometimes when you guys are trying to move your energy out and make things happen, there's always people around you who are trying to stop you, or there's always some weird thing that happens. It's like I'm trying to do this and all of a sudden the internet goes down for like 5 days. Like these types of things and these types of people, which you may at times feel like stop your energy or stop you from doing what you want to do, okay? But it's not going to last. I mean, people can only stop a determined, soulful person like pile number 2 for so long, until you're able to take that energy when it provokes you into making other decisions and moving on, okay? And sometimes situations are like that, and they provoke us to have to say things to really stand up for ourselves too, okay? We have Alliance here, okay. And the 3 of Pentacles is all about forming those strategic alliances and those collaborations. And so that's interesting, pile number 2. So we're gonna go ahead, and some of you may be having a work situation that is really provoking you right now. And I feel like some of you want to say something or do something, but it's like, I don't know, so there is something going on with that, okay? Rather than stay and fight for something that ultimately at the end of the day, maybe you don't even know if you want, I think it's time to turn in a new direction and form alliances with people that can really help you, okay? And I feel like some of you are ready to provoke situations yourselves, okay? Because she looks like she means business, and she's got her war paint on. She's got the red painted all over her face, and she looks like she's about ready to go provoke someone, okay? So maybe you guys are gonna go provoke something, all right? But if you do, just remember, choose your battles wisely and be intuitive about it, okay? And try to know, like, is it worth it, or do you just want something else entirely, is what I'm going to say, pile number 2, okay? So let's go ahead and see on this Alliance card. Make the most of your network. Respond to pressure by reaching out to people of different levels of education, experience, age, views, or social standing. Wow, okay. Be wary of pretension or selective equality. A challenge brings a reminder of the place you hold within a system, a network, or group, okay? So a challenge in a group situation that provokes you, all right? I feel like some of you are about ready to leave your job, or you're about ready to show some people, like, I'm not taking this crap anymore. I deserve better than this. Or a challenge brings a reminder of the place you hold within a system, pile number 2, okay? A network or a group, and the scope of your influence. Healing can be found within cohesive relationships or a close-knit group, okay, if they're healthy, right? Build strength through inclusion, structure, and connection. That's very much a wasp thing. When they build their nest, they're building through inclusion, structure, and connection. Think in 3 dimensions, past, present, future, okay? Spiritual meaning. You are a part of an amazing universe, soul time, right? Within and of creation, connected to, and therefore with access to all the colors of life's canvas. Mortal body, immortal soul, living many lives in endless forms throughout existence. You are in every breeze, every feather, and part of every sunrise. Oh my God, pile number 2. You're an immortal being, so act like it, okay? And I talked about, how the birds and the trees and all of that, earlier in your reading, about how they just keep going on and on and on. So mortal body, immortal soul, living lives in endless forms throughout existence. You are in every breeze, every feather, and part of every sunrise. You are the love that underpins the all. Bring this connection to consciousness, okay? The insight here is the diamond is the hardest natural mineral on our planet. Graphite is one of the softest. One is brilliant and represents perfection and love and adorns the crowns. The other is dull and used in many everyday items, including pencils, brake linings, and batteries. Diamond is so hard it is added to cutting tools, while graphite is so slippery it's used as a lubricant. Diamonds refract light and can turn it into rainbows. Graphite absorbs light and is black as night. Elementally, diamond and graphite are both pure carbon. They differ only in their structure. Yeah, so we're all humans here. We just differ in our structure, right? In the way we approach things. In graphite, the atoms bond into two-dimensional layers. In diamonds, the atoms bond in three-dimensional lattice to make connections on all sides, not just to their neighbors on the same plane. Valency refers to an atom's capacity for connection. Diamonds are durable because they use the valency of carbon to fulfill its full potential. Wow. Yeah, you guys are diamonds, okay? And you can make connections of all different kinds. Diamonds are durable because they use the valency of carbon to its fullest potential. Carbon's ability to bond in complex ways makes it central to cellular structure and thus to all life on Earth. It is your connections that make you strong. Yeah, Three of Pentacles, okay? It's your connections that make you strong. Connect to nature, to the seasons, and to your fellow passengers on this beautiful planet. Your ability to make diverse and involved bonds is life-affirming. Wow, pile number 2. Okay, and as you're moving through the storm fields of life, guided by your intuition and seeing the truth in all things, expressing your desires and hungering for your passions, you are going to meet and have some wonderful alliances along the way. So maybe it didn't work with certain people. Okay, maybe their energy, maybe their structure is different than yours and it's not a match, okay? Okay, then fine, right? But time for something else is what I feel here. Time to explore some new things and to make your dreams come true. All right, pile number 2. That is what I am getting for you, my loves. I hope that, oh, and also just one thing, for those of you that have had bad experiences in groups of people recently or in your life, Spirit is just reaffirming that you are a person that can make deep and complex connections with others. And some of you may actually have a hunger and a passion to do that, whether it's with soul tribe, soul family, whether it's with, love connections, whatever it is. And just so you know, pile number 2, you're not dead inside, and you absolutely do have the ability to make amazing connections on this earth with your other fellow passengers in life, okay? So pile number 2, I just needed to get you that last message. Thank you so much, my loves. If you enjoyed your reading, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Comment if you want to comment. I read all the comments. And then like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, pile number 2. Take care. Let's move on to pile number 3. Okay. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose Saturn. Ooh la la, pile number 3. We are going to go ahead and get into your reading. And today's reading is called Wasp Spirit and the Art of War. Pick your battles wisely, okay? And pile number 3, thank you so much for hitting up your reading with me. I almost said extended reading. Anyway, no extended reading today, pile number 3. We're going to go ahead and get into it. And I did an intro already at the beginning of the video on the different characteristics of wasps and how we can learn from them. All right, well, we already have, we have the Queen of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. And that's and the King of Wands is on the bottom of the deck, okay? And it's like, you guys are like, you want this, okay? Somebody's really funky too, or really different and interesting or funky, all right? And isn't some of you may have been dealing with someone that's quite like funky, different, interesting, unique, doesn't really do things by the book. They might be like very artistic or goofy or interesting or just funny, okay? Some of them may have funny decorations around their house or just do things differently, all right? The King of Wands in the tarot is Sagittarius. And you know what's interesting about the Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles is, you know, like this whole thing, I feel like there's already 10 Pentacles here and everybody already knows what they're doing and knows what they're up to. And then there's this sense of feeling like having a lot to offer, but feeling left out, okay? And in a colony of wasps, there's always a queen. You know what I'm saying? There's always a queen, and she's there to like stabilize everything and to help things grow. And we have the Queen of Pentacles here, which is very much about stabilizing things and making things grow, okay? And it looks like these people, this family or all these people are looking at you, pile number 3, to they're looking at you in a very welcoming way, but I also feel you guys are kind of something that you've been putting your time and effort into may not be exactly what you thought it was going to be or exactly what you wanted, okay? Pile number 3, okay? And some of you here could be wanting to have, you know, like a family and a place where you feel that you belong and a sense of groundedness, okay? And you end up giving a lot to situations, but it gets tiring, okay? And a lot of people may be depending on you as well. Pile number 3, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and get right into it and find out what's going on here. Pile number 3, some of you may be giving a lot of energy into your family situations, a lot of money, a lot of time. Some of you may be putting a lot of effort into like your relationships or wanting a serious committed relationship, but you know, like everything is there, but I feel like the person that you guys have been talking to or committing yourself to may not exactly fit in the way that you thought they were going to, okay? So just something about that. They may be gone a lot, or they may be expecting you to do the majority of things or just be gone a lot, okay? So, but let's go ahead and get into it regardless, pile number 3, and see what's going on. We have Soul Vessel. All right, yeah, so many. I feel you guys really are the queen bee or the queen wasp, or, you know, because wasp colonies also have a queen, and everything depends on her. And she's the one that is the vessel, because the worker bee wasps, they can lay eggs too, but they can only give birth to males. And all the males can do is, you know, hook up with the queen or, you know, get with the queen. And then right after that, they die. That's their whole purpose, is to mate with the queen, and then they die, okay? And the worker bees are there because the queen, you know, fed them until they were ready to be something else. So to work, okay, for the colony. So basically that's it. The queen is the center of everything, all right? And, but you know, the queen is also like, everybody's depending on the queen to take care of everything and to provide everything for everyone else, to keep the day-to-day and keep everything running. All right. And, you know, when I see this soul vessel, I think of nourishment, you know, and like how you guys are taking care of yourselves. And if you're nourishing yourselves and looking at all the, you know, energy that you're giving out. And sometimes we just feel like we're going through the motions every day and we're just like a vessel and we're not actually, you know, I mean, I feel like people appreciate you, pile number 3, but at the same time, a lot of people may be depending on you. So let's see what else is coming up here. It's like the queen, can the queen get a break here? We have joy and stability, but it's reversed, okay? So that would say that it's like when I mentioned earlier, I finally got what I wanted, or I finally have something that I want, but I'm not really that happy with it. I'd rather have something else, okay? And then we have here the High Priestess and listen, okay? And whenever I see her come up, it reminds me of, like, to me, this is a spirit guide card, especially in this deck. And I feel like some of you, like, you're doing a great job at whatever it is you do, whether it's raising your kids, whether it's family, whether it's work. I mean, maybe some of you do all three, and life gets heavy and hard with Saturn here, okay? And sometimes maybe you're there for everyone, but maybe you don't always get to do everything that you want to do and get to experience what you would like to experience, okay? With this joy and stability reversed, okay? And sometimes it's interesting because we think we want stability, or we think we want something, but then once we get it, we find ourselves lacking in joy because it's like the same thing over and over. It's like, you know, trying so hard, or like missing certain aspects of our life beforehand, okay? And so there is stability and money here with the Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles in the tarot is the Lord of Wealth, okay? But money doesn't bring happiness, right? And sometimes we get exactly what we want and then we feel unhappy, okay? So, I mean, life's interesting that way, isn't it, pile number 3? It like teaches us these important lessons. And I feel like your guide is coming through here and saying, listen, okay? Listen. We're about ready to give you some advice in this reading, or we're about ready to let you know, okay? And I also feel like some of you need to tune in instead of like going through the motions or just doing what you think you should be doing, or just putting, you know, a lot of times if we throw on a pair of jeans and a tube of lipstick and a nice shirt, we can, and a smile on our face, we can fake the funk and everyone thinks that we're fine and everything's happy, but you know, underneath it, we're like yearning for something else, okay? So I feel like, you know, your spirit guide and your higher self is coming through here to say, like, listen to me, because there is something that feels missing, and we're going to talk about it in this reading, okay? So we have the solar plexus chakra, okay? And this chakra has to do with the sun and our willpower, okay? So it's like I'm giving in to this situation, or I'm giving to this situation, but I also feel, you know, what's interesting here is she has a hold of her arm and she's touching her arm like this. Maybe some of you have been having carpal tunnel, or your arm has a bruise on it, or it just, your arm's been hurting, or you have some nerve damage in your arm, something like that, okay? Because it's like the arm isn't supposed to bend that way, okay? And she's having to support and like do everything herself, all right? And I do think that you guys have a strong willpower. And when we talk about the solar plexus, to me, that feels very much like wasp energy, like very masculine, very yang, very like productive, going after it. Sometimes it can be where we're just like human doings rather than human beings, where we're just, you know, like every day doing what we have to do, and just doing everything, but at the same time, it's maybe not what we really want, okay? And something about the difference between your willpower and your drives, and also your willpower and drive to create stability versus your joy. And I feel like there's some type of trade-off happening here, okay, pile number 3. So let's see what's going on. We have surrender, okay? Surrender. And the High Priestess is definitely like a soul vessel. And I do feel like you guys need some water. I mean, you need some water in your life. I mean, Saturn is the driest of the dry when we're talking about the planets. And Saturn's nature is melancholy. And Saturn is farthest from the sun, so its nature is cold and dry. Okay, it's lacking in moisture because it's not anywhere near the moisture producing planetary bodies like the moon or the earth or something. So Saturn is cold and dry. And, this soul vessel is giving out a lot, but it's like I can't keep continuing to give anymore. I need to replenish as well. Also, I feel like some of you needing to surrender to your purpose and what it is that you're here to do instead of just doing the same thing over and over. Like technically you could be making money or technically you could be doing well, but it's just like, surrendering to something deeper, I feel here, okay? We have mystery. Yeah, and it's coming out on this joy and stability card that's reversed. It's like, I have everything I want, the Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. On the surface, I have what I want and I have what I need, but I'm not satisfied is what I'm feeling here, pile number 3. And some people may say, oh, well, that's wasteful or that's, immature or whatever. But I mean, and I get it. I guilt myself over things like that too, pile number 3. And with Saturn here, you guys probably do punish yourselves a lot, okay? Self-punishment, like I have to be this, do this, all of that, okay? If I have all this stability, then why am I miserable? Okay, it's a mystery. Like, why don't I feel good? I thought this was gonna make me happy. All right. Life is a mystery, pile number 3. It's very interesting. This says, I seek balance and grounding. And this is the waning gibbonous moon. So when the moon is waning, it's like, we see situations like the energy kind of, sort of like petering out, pile number 3, or like draining out, right? And when that happens, we seek balance and grounding. And I think you guys do seek balance and grounding, okay? But I mean, there also needs to be more joy and more abilities to like take risks and do what you want to do here with this solar plexus chakra. And I know not everybody has the luxury, to do all of that, okay? But I also feel like it's like, why can't I find my joy and stability? Like, why can't I find it? All right. And I'm kind of picking up on your guys's, because this reading is called Pick Your Battles Wisely, the Art of War, and the Wasp Spirit, okay? So, I mean, I feel like, honestly, pile number 3, what's interesting is I feel like you've told yourself what you're doing isn't good enough for some reason. And, like you're beating up on yourself or you're mad at yourself for not doing something you wish you would have done earlier is kind of what I feel, okay? So I think it's time. I feel more than any pile number 3, I feel like you guys are battling yourself, okay? And, the other piles had other battles going on, but there is like a need to sort of surrender here and become like the high priestess, to become the soul vessel, and, maybe stop trying to overanalyze yourself or pick at yourself too much, okay? It's like, I think that's like an OCD thing, right? When people like pick at things, and, sometimes we can get very OCD, like about ourselves and our life and all of that. And, there is like this wild, energy, I feel like, within you that is, I know you seek balance and grounding in all you do, pile number 3, but I also think there's like, there's a wild adventure seeker within you too, okay? We have the 4 of Cups here. I'm not happy and I don't know why, and I hate everything, and I, fuck off, basically, with the 4 of Cups. All right. And it's like, with the solar plexus and the 4 cups, I want to do something, but I can't. I want to do something, but I feel like I can't. I want to, you know, I'm supposed to be happy with the 3 cups here on the bottom, the 3 of cups on the 3 cups on the bottom of the 4 of cups. I'm supposed to be happy, but I'm not, okay? And like more and more and more doesn't really make for happiness. And, you know, I could go off on a rant on consumer capitalism and our culture and all of that and the way that, you know, it's funny because I heard someone talking about it today and it just made a lot of sense, and just how like we're trained to think that these kinds of things are going to make us happy in life, and then once we get them it just feels, you know, forced or unnatural, or it just feels like something's missing, okay? And some of you guys here could just have this feeling that time is passing you by and you're missing something, and there's things that you want to do, but you should be, I feel like some of you are beating up on yourselves though and saying, I should be happy with what I have here, because I feel you guys are grateful, pile number 3. But at the same time, there's something that I feel would be more satisfying for you, but maybe you're kind of avoiding looking at it, okay? But I think the battle that you guys need to surrender and give up here is like the constant, like, you know, beating up on self, where it's like, I should be happy, or this is what I wanted, or this is what I'm, you know, and instead open yourself up to more exploration. You know, there's always more. We have here, number 1, I am an innovative. Okay, yeah, so something about doing things differently and being innovative. You are a self-starter, pile number 3, with very innovative ways of creating opportunities for yourself. Yeah, with the Queen of Pentacles and 10 of Pentacles for sure. Your determination and endurance are powerful and will help you get through rough times and reach success. Yeah, so you guys already have like a lot of the Wasp Spirit qualities, and I'll read some of those to you already. Productivity, progress, structure, potential, well-organized, focused, an expert builder. You know, the Queen of Pentacles, very good at building things. All right, and maybe some of you haven't really been feeling that challenged even to like do something else, okay? But the Queen of Pentacles, very good at prioritizing. And one thing though we run into with the Wasp Spirit here is don't sit around waiting for things to happen. That's definitely the 4 of Cups and the solar plexus, is where we're really, really good at something and so we stick with it, but it isn't feeling satisfying. And we're just kind of sitting around and waiting for something else to happen. All right. I know you guys don't really sit around, you know, I feel like you guys are busy people, but at the same time, what we're missing here maybe is like innovation and something different. Okay. And some of you guys here, you may have like, you know, a passionate prince or princess that you're wishing for, that you really want, or that you really want to, some of you may need to, you know, get laid or something, you know, with this King of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Oh, look, there's the devil, you know, and with the King of Cups, you know, some of you guys putting a lot of effort into, you know, your family, etc., wondering, you know, where's the other person? Why are they not here? Okay. For some of you, this could be like really missing someone with the devil and the moon, someone that you ended things with, the world that you know wasn't really good for you. Okay. And, you know, I feel like sometimes you guys want to get into trouble here, pile number 3, or you want to, you know, be naughty. Okay. As Willa Ford would say, I want to be bad with you, baby. Okay. But something is, you know, not the wisest choice, okay? So there may be a person here too that you're trying to say, I don't want them, I don't care, I don't, you know, I'm not doing that, but there's actually a part of you that still does, okay? And that may have some of the reason to do why you're not feeling For those of you that are always busy and always doing things and etc., I do feel like you need some excitement. You need some like pleasure. I feel like pile number 3, okay? You need some spice, I feel like, okay? Spice is nice, and maybe it's like, well, I don't really want to go out, Natalie. You know, I got all dressed up and it was bullshit anyway, or whatever, you know, with the solar plexus and the 4 of Cups, like, I don't wanna, but then you're not happy because you're feeling unfulfilled in some area of your life, okay? So I think this is where this internal struggle is happening, pile number 3, or this internal rub is happening. If people looked at your life from the outside with the Queen of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles, they'd be like, damn, pile number 3 is doing well. Like, what's there to be unhappy about, or what's there? And I think sometimes you guys deal with that too, okay? And I also think some of you, if you struggled to get to where you are today and really, really had to work for it, some of you may be feeling like, I don't want to do all this anymore. I wanted things to be easier too. All right. So there's a need to surrender here to your soul and to what your soul really wants and needs. And it says here, like I was saying, your determination and endurance are powerful and will help you get through rough times and reach success in your life. Okay. And for those of you that have been trying to reach for success and doing everything you can to get there, I mean, I feel like instead of doing it the traditional way, maybe there's a more innovative, exciting way that you could do something, okay? Or switch things up is kind of what I'm feeling here. We have here solitude. Yeah, I don't really want anybody, I feel like maybe you guys are saying like, I don't want anyone to see me upset, or I don't want anybody to see that I'm angry or upset, or that I'm not satisfied, or that I'm not happy. Okay, so I would rather just be by myself, okay? And maybe some of you have been, you know, by yourself and just doing the duties that you need to do every day for family, for work, etc., whatever. But it's like, you know, I don't even know. Like, I feel like some of you are like, yeah, you know, what's missing here, I feel like is, you know, sexual energy, pile number 3. It's like, who's got the time, you know, with the Queen of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. But, you know, sometimes we need solitude and we're upset, but we don't really know why, and we need some time to work through it. You know, I feel like you guys are doers and you're not people that like rest on your laurels, okay? So maybe you do need to take some time. I feel like there's this inner battle within you. Like, should I just be still for a while, or should I go for something, you know? And like, is there a way for you to be around other people that turn you on and excite you without sacrificing your own time to do what you want to do? That's what I feel like is kind of coming up here, right? Because you seek balance and grounding. Okay, so balance, right? Like, not constant solitude, not constantly with other people and doing things for other people all the time, right? And some of you may have to get very innovative about the way that you do your life or your schedule to kind of like get things back on track here, okay? You seek balance and grounding, okay? And I think you have grounding going on, you know, with the 10 of Pentacles or the Queen of Pentacles and 10 of Pentacles. I think you guys have plenty of grounding going on. I think where, you know, what's going wrong here is balance, you know, between like, you know, missing the fire with this 4 of Wands reversed and this 4 of Cups on the solar plexus, really missing the fire of something, okay? Maybe feeling alone at times too, all right? And we have here Mars, okay, missing the fire. Okay, so this High Priestess is coming through here and saying, this is what's missing. And she looks like She's funny because she looks like a naughty high priestess. Usually the high priestess, her face is kind of like cold and unflinching, and she's not showing a lot of emotion, and she's channeling. Here, this high priestess, her hair is like wild and going in 100 different ways, and her eyes are like lit up green, and she looks naughty, you know? She's kind of a troublemaking high priestess. And listen, there is this, you know, wild energy within you that needs, this wild feminine within you that needs release, okay? And some of you really needing to get your Mars on, okay? Mars is a planet of sexuality, you know, and it is it's a card of physical activity too. It's a card of getting up and moving and physical activity and trying different things and doing different things and strutting your stuff with confidence, okay? And it's also that fire, you know? It's like, where's my fire? So I feel like, you know, you're doing good, but some of you are wondering maybe, where's that primal fire that I seek, okay? And, you know, do I even want that with this solitude, okay? I think you need balance, pile number 3, okay? We can't just be, you know, doing everything and I mean, you're looking fabulous, you're looking good, but we can't just be giving everything that we have or doing everything while there's this other part of ourselves that is a bit timid but wants to like experience something new, okay? And start from scratch here with this I am innovative, all right? We have, oh, yes, I knew it. We have Venus and the goddess of love and beauty. Of course we do. And look at Venus and Mars, right? We have Mars and then we have Venus, and they're right next to each other, boinking each other. Hello, hello, right? And look, Mars is reaching out to you and you guys are turned away like, I don't know, you know, like, call me tomorrow. But we have Mars and Venus in their eternal embrace of, you know, just art and beauty and sexuality and raw connection between, you know, the fierce fire and the loving embrace, right? And yeah, this is coming out underneath this high priestess who's like, listen, you need to get your freak on, pile number 3, okay? And you're like, I know I need to be, like, I feel like with this 4 of Cups trying to tell yourself that you're happy, like, I'm happy, like, leave me alone. I don't want to do my hair. I don't care, whatever, you know, I'm happy. And it's like, no, okay? So, I mean, if you're happy, pile number 3. And as I've always said, the world isn't a happiness factory. Okay, as Wasp Spirit will tell us, sometimes life stings, all right? And sometimes love stings, and sometimes we just want to forget about it and do other things because it stung us in the past, okay? And I get that, but I do think there is some, you know, sexual tension, pile number 3, that needs addressing, okay? And not even maybe that, maybe just hugging and, you know, I mean, some people aren't big on physical touch, but I mean, your soul vessel looks like it's ready to reach out and touch someone here with this water. Okay, it's time to water your soul vessel. Pile number 3. We have rediscovery. Oh, I love that. And it looks like this inner, like, you know, we've got your inner child, and then we've got layers and layers even within your inner child. And we can see, it's like those Russian dolls where you just keep taking off the layers and the layers and the layers, okay? So rediscovering like how innovative you are, how actually different you are, how actually like you operate as a person, like what you actually need versus what you're telling yourself that you need, this type of thing, okay? And so there's like this exciting rediscovery within you, okay? And rediscovering that you're innovative and that, yes, you do need, you know, art, beauty, love, magic, you know, pleasure. You need this in your life, but maybe you also do need time alone, okay? So it's okay. You're just complicated, pile number 3, and you're cool. So stick with it, okay? And let's look at this rediscovery. So this says rediscovery is withdrawal into the security of loved ones. Yeah, stumbling on or triggering a memory. Yeah, you guys really stumbled upon and triggered a memory that I feel maybe some of you are not really, and it could be about a lover or a past situation, okay? And stumbling on or triggering a memory. Stories told in safety, creative space, okay? A message from the past, the 4 of Cups, a message of love from the past, okay? The 4 of Cups is the moon in Cancer, talking about memory and rediscovering a love of something from your past. For some of you, it could be a creative hobby or an interest. For others of you, it could be a love situation, okay? A message from the past for the future. Your body remembers. Listen to its story. The High Priestess, listen, right? Mars can also have to do with violence and aggression too. And for those of you that have dealt with that in relationships, I'm so sorry, pile number 3. And that can really cause a person to like go inward and really not want, you know, to have that type of connect. You're not really wanting to have that connection that way, okay? So I get it, but it says deep pain is transformed into wisdom and understanding, pile number 3. An inheritance, legacy, or heirloom, discovering, rediscovering an inheritance, legacy, or heirloom. Having access to the tools and the knowledge that you need. Be gentle with who you were and strong about who you will become. Yeah, that's when I said you were picking on yourself and you're, you know, battling yourself, and how we want to stop doing that to the extent that we can. I know it's not just something you can turn off one day and then whatever, but you know, like you guys having access to the tools and the knowledge that you need in order to be gentle with who you were and in the past, and strong about who you will become. Okay, so the spiritual meaning of rediscovery. If you're feeling lost and confused or asking what life is all about, then this may be the perfect time to consult your original self, the one you kept hidden while you grew up and supposedly until you were wiser, okay? This sweet, loving, innocent you is not lost. Deep down, you are still that person. The original you exists outside of time and is safe and awaiting rediscovery. Okay, the original you, all right? And the sweet, loving, innocent you is not lost. Also, the wild, adventurous, you know, innovative, creative, fun, exciting person within you is not lost either, okay? And we're going to talk about the insight here. Caves are keepers of humanity's earliest history. Caves definitely reminds me of High Priestess energy. Like caves are, and Venus too, right? Women, the womb, right? Caves are keepers of humanity's earliest history. Within the safety of the earth and stone, we slept, we ate, and we told our stories. The caves still hold those stories. The rock that graced us with a space where we were protected from the troubles of predators and cold became a creative space. Wow. The walls were canvases for the earliest paintings and kept them hidden, safe, and preserved, some for over 40,000 years. Tools, bones, charcoal, and artworks await the return of their peoples, ready for their ascendance. Knowledge of animals now extinct. Red handprints, a message from another time. Ancient wisdom awaits rediscovery, the High Priestess. Your stories are within you. Some may be forgotten, but they are never lost. You may search for them. You may stumble across them. You may take shelter and rediscover them in the darkness. Red outlines, marking on bone, crude tools of survival the ancestors have provided for you. Journey to the sanctuary within. Wow, yes, journey to the sanctuary within, pile number 3. And don't worry about what you did or who you were before, or, you know, try to let go of some of that if you can. Pick your battles wisely and journey to the sanctuary within, okay? And I think some of you may need some solitude to go within and understand what really is going to like feed and nourish your soul, okay? And like not beat yourself up, all right? Pile number 3. So also, you know, letting love and beauty and support and art and all that there is into your life. And maybe some of you actually rediscovering, like, you know, your sensual needs and your needs for touch and for love too, okay? Pile number 3. So that is what I am getting for you, my loves. It's a very gentle landing for you today, pile number 3. And I hope that reading resonated for you, my friends. And for those of you that enjoyed the reading, if you'd like to leave me a comment, I'd love to hear your feedback. And as always, thank you for being here. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy my readings. It does help my channel grow. Thank you so much, everybody, and take care.